but I was very impressed by Alison. She's so fit. It's crazy. I mean, she probably trained when she was doing Glow. Actually, they had that in common. They do wrestling. So they talked a lot about that, obviously.
This is
But
true.
she's extremely fit. I mean, she would work out every morning. Like she would do like push-ups with 50 pounds on her back. I was like, wow, I could never do that. So they were very, very prepared for action, all of them.
Tell me you got that. Run!
Hey, Pierre, how's it going today? My name is Nigeria Chambers of Big Gold Belt Media. Very excited to talk to you about your new film, Freelance, which is coming to theaters October 27th. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you very much, Nadir. How are you doing?
Absolutely. I'm doing well. Thank you. So from Taken to the Gunman to the Ambush, and now knowing that you had a new project, it was a no-brainer. I wanted to check this out. Obviously, there's some big attractive names on this project, but I think your name alone sells. I think you have put out a lot of fantastic work, entertaining, and truly the type of film I like to watch. I'm wondering for yourself, are you making films that are the type of films you grew up on, or these films that were sort of been passion projects? Sort of what's been your trajectory when it comes down to landing a project?
I guess I grew up with those movies. Yes, yes. I mean, when I was a film student, it was all about, Lethal Weapons and movies like that. So I grew up with those, definitely. But I've been mostly doing very dark movies until this one. And this one is more like an action comedy. It's much more comedic than action. But there's obviously a lot of action in there. But I like this one because it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a different type. And if you do over and over the same movies, you get bored. So I tend to want to try something else.
Maybe you get bored, but you can keep making them for me, man. I'm having a good time. And that definitely goes into my next question, because yes, traditionally your previous films have been dark and gritty, and which again I love. But when you have the likes of John Cena, who I don't know if there's a more charismatic male actor out there, and then you get Alison Brie, then you start to say, well, shoot, I don't know a more charismatic female actor. So was it always the plan to have them a part of this? And did that make you sort of rework how you wanted to do this film to kind of reset the tone? Or how did that kind of come about?
It came about really quickly, actually. John and I got on board almost at the same time. And then we were thinking about who the female lead could be. And it obviously had to be a comedian. And she came like right away to our minds. And she happened to be available. So we were super happy. So it came about really quickly. And obviously you don't know what the camera screen is going to be, but they both, actually the three of them, but at least Alison and John have that amazing sense of humor, both of them. Like John can be hilarious. We know him for his physique. We know him for what he can pull off on the ring. But when I saw like Peacemaker, for instance, he was hilarious in that. So, and he has that dry sense of humor in life. So off camera, when we were like rehearsing and then on set, they were riffing all day long, and it was fun.
I can imagine just how much more time you will have for stories about this, the filming alongside of them, all of the BTS stuff. And also I want to give a shout out to Juan, who also I never realized just how much I needed him and John in scenes together, working together. They have some really fantastic moment. And as you mentioned, the three of them, they make this movie so much fun. And Christian Slater was to me, was just an amazing extra bit of icing of the cake here. Huge fan. So even with all of the comedy and the charisma that we would expect, the film does action very good. I enjoy, especially with the cinematography, getting up close and personal with some of the shots. There was a particular helicopter shot that I was a huge fan of. Even towards the end, with Allison's character, who's a journalist, where we kind of got to go behind the scenes of the camera a little bit. That really brings us into things. Could you talk about some other moments of the film you were very impressed with, or some of your favorite moments in terms of the cinematography that you feel are the highlight of this film?
Well, there's many. Obviously, the opening scene was actually fun because it was like the main character's perspective, like POV, and his in point of view, and you don't see John until 2 minutes into the movie.
Yeah,
and it was tough to shoot because you have to have a camera right there, like to a helmet, and do things as if you were a guy driving, grabbing a baby, like going through all kinds of things, like training. It was tough. It was tough to shoot. It wasn't very funny, but it was tough to shoot. I
yeah,
had a blast because I was operating cameras, so it was like, oh, that's fun to do. But then actually, no, some of the scenes there's a big attack on the bridge, which was really tough to pull out because it wasn't a bridge, because it's an actual bridge. Because if you go a little too fast, the car's going to fall off, and you found them like 200 feet below. So it was kind of challenging. But I was very impressed by Alison. She's so fit. It's crazy. I mean, she probably trained when she was doing Glow. Actually, they had that in common. They do wrestlings. They talked a lot about that, obviously.
this is
But
true.
she's extremely fit. I mean, she would work out every morning. Like she would do like push-ups with 50 pounds on her back. I was like, wow, I could never do that. So they were very, very prepared for action, all of them.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you said that. And with my time coming up here, I really enjoyed this film. Good labs, good action, and just our leads is really carrying this film. And even having a sense of heart with everything that Mason endures with having to leave his family, coming back, and kind of making peace to that. I'm already on board with a sequel. And I would love for you to get more work as well too. So have you thought about a story beyond this? Is there a possibility to go beyond this story here?
I hope there is. I mean, obviously you can replicate that story in another situation, and she will need protection in another country, obviously. Maybe, I don't know. I would love that, because even if maybe even the three of them, I don't know if the trio could work all together, but
Yes.
I'd love to see that too. I'd love to see that too, honestly.
Absolutely. Listen, really quickly, any updates on Canary Black? Looking forward to this.
Well, right now I'm talking to you from London. I'm in the final mix of Canary Black. We will be done with the movie in about a month and a half, and hopefully will be released early next year. It was quite something. It was we're back to dark this time. We're really dark. We shot that in Croatia with Kate Beckinsale. It's a dark thriller, spy genre. It's gonna be fun.
Yes.
And she's very good at stunts too. She did all her fights, and she was pretty impressive, by the way.
Well, listen, I will absolutely be waiting to check that out. Hopefully we get a chance to talk about that one as well too. But folks, in the meantime, check out Freelance, which is a fantastic movie coming to theaters October 27th. As mentioned, you have the likes of John Cena, Alison Brie, and obviously our director here, Pierre, who just now once again making another film for me that I had a good time watching.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much, buddy. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Take care.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.